Hello everyone, it's Leo, and in this video I'm going to share my top 5 Healing Good PreCure episodes. Now that the season is over, I'm able to look back and choose my 5 favorite episodes and rank them. I thought that this was going to be harder, but it's not. It's very clear, at least for me, which were my favorite episodes, but I had a little trouble ranking some of them. This video is kind of a collaboration with the members of the Magical Cinema channel. I've asked them to share with me their own thoughts of their own favorite episodes from Healing Good. They could share it in text format or in video format. So in this video we are going to also share the members' favorite episodes from Healing Good. So let's start. In number 5, my 5th favorite episode from Healing Good was episode 19. Yes, Cure Earth's arrival, Cure Earth's debut, the time when she arrived and she simply kicked ass. This episode had a lot of drama with Latte and her feelings, Latte feeling useless. Unfortunately, that didn't really get nowhere in the season, but in the moment, in the episode, it was great. And also, at that moment, we also had Batete Moda, which is my favorite villain from Healing Good. He is the king, and Batete Moda with a very nice plan, and the way he relentlessly attacked the girls, got Latte in his hands. Girl, that was so scary, but that was so nice to see. I really loved those moments. But obviously the highlight of the episode for me was when Cure Earth arrived and was able to kick some ass with the power of the wind, the way she flew with the wind around her and created hurricanes and was able to free the girls and Latte from the Mega Byogen from that episode. I really liked this moment. What a great episode. Now, before going to number 4, I'm going to share an opinion of a member here on the channel. Reza Maulana98 chose as his favorite episode, episode 21. Let's see what he had to say. He said, while it's part of Earth's introductory arc that many people seem to hate, to me it's just so fun seeing Asumi being so clueless with how things are supposed to work. From her struggles with chopsticks and going blank eyes on it, opening the shower fully clothed, and attempting to sleep on the ground, it made for an excellent comedic episode to me. Episode 21 was a delight for sure. Now for my 4th favorite episode, I chose episode 12, which was that episode in which the healing animals got together and took the girls to a training camp. And their ideas of training were so absurd that they basically did not work. But what really mattered was that at that time, the girls were able to get together and strengthen their bonds, strengthen their friendship and their belief in one another. That episode also brought lots of comedic, great scenes in which the girls were imagining how their training would be. I love that moment from this episode. And it was the debut of King Batete Moda. Batete Moda, I miss you, I love you, you were the best. The way he fought against the girls and scared them so much with the way he fought, the way he was relentless and fearless in attacking them. I miss him. Now let's share some more member favorite episodes. This time it is the Chiyu Trio. Yes, 3 members chose as their favorite episodes Chiyu episodes. So let's see what they had to say. Let's start with Baka Inubashiri, who chose episode 17. He said, we really see Chiyu's character here as the kindest and gentlest of all the cures in my opinion, but also the most empathetic in how she deals with Emily being afraid in a new place. Courtney Draws chose as her favorite episode, episode 8. She said, I loved this episode about Chiyu. It was so touching and sweet that she started high jumping because she wanted to be in the sky and be one with it. Baby Chiyu was so adorable as well. I love the bond that she had with Peggy-tan. He really cares about her and he tried to find ways to help her get rid of the yips. I also love episode 8. Girl, great pick. Also, Dinias chose episode 34, which was the Chiyu competition episode, and he said it was just great. Dinia's, I agree. I also love episode 34. Chiyu's episodes are awesome, and I'm very happy lots of members chose her episodes to be in this video because girl, Chiyu is amazing. Chiyu is the best. Now for number 3, it's top 3 now. Girl, best Healing Good episodes right now. For me, my third place is episode 24. In this episode, we see Asumi using a different power. She is able to create portals with the power of the wind so that they can be transported to different places. That was very nice. So we had an episode with the girls interacting a little bit more with nature directly. And it was calming, it was chilling at the start, it was very cute seeing the girls interact with each other, the healing animals having some time to rest as well. It was simply adorable. But I think that the most interesting part of this episode was obviously Sakuya, who is an adult. At that point, Asumi barely had interactions with adults apart from Nodoka's parents, and it was very nice seeing her interact with someone who is older and with someone who is protecting nature in her own way. So far, she's been Asumi and the girls have been protecting nature as cures and fighting and healing the earth, but then she sees someone who uses her human abilities to heal the earth as well. I really loved this episode, and I was very sorry that Sakuya didn't really appear again in the season, like having some sort of role in the season, because I really liked her. And I thought that she was going to be a very nice character to have around Asumi. Sad that it didn't happen, but happy that it happened in episode 24. This episode also had Nebusoku, a different Byogen, or Mega Byogen, or Giga, I don't know what he is anymore, but it was a bird that was infected and turned into a Byogen. And it was interesting to see that Uzen trying out new things. Now let's share some more member favorite episodes. This time it's Alpha of the Winglight, who chose as his favorite episode from Healing Good, episode 43. And he said there were a few of his favorites, but he chose this episode because of the scene of Shindorine and Sparkle talking. That scene got him to laugh a lot, which made him love this episode so much. Also, Kaguya Hyoku 12 chose episode 16 as her favorite episode. She said, I loved how the girls managed to reconcile the people who took the friendship oath a long time ago, and that the three showed new signs of life at the end. I think that episode really strengthened the friendship of the trio. Just as a curiosity, I thought that they were really gonna go back to that three at the end of Healing Good to remember their oath and to, to look at it again, and maybe when they were adults or something. It didn't happen, but the oath they took there was definitely something sweet. Now for my number 2, my second favorite episode from Healing Good PreCure was episode 15. Yes, the famous, maybe infamous for some, Love and Daruma episode, which was super, super sweet, and I love this episode to death. And I actually thought that this episode was going to be my favorite of the overall season until an episode snatched the crown from it. But let's talk about episode 15. What a great episode. First of all, Love and Daruma, the design of that thing. Adorable. I love it. I fell in love with it. Another thing I love about this episode is the guy that created Love and Daruma. Usually what we see in anime, not usually, but we see that a lot, and not only in anime, but in media in general, is that usually when we have a character who is effeminate, they are played for laughs. They are there for you to laugh at them. They are there for them to be the joke characters. And I was super happy that we had some sort of effeminate character in this episode who were there in a serious manner. He really liked his Love and Daruma, he defended it, and he wasn't afraid of the thing he created. He was never played for laughs at all. And another thing that I feel like this episode really hit the mark was in the fact that Rambirin was ashamed, and this is something we feel a lot about certain things we like and are or can be seen as shameful. So that was very relatable. Which child hasn't had this feeling in them before by being shamed by something they like? I'm pretty sure people can relate to that at some point of their childhood, because this happens a lot. And it was nice that she had Nodoka by her side saying, this is not shameful at all. You should embrace what you like. And this was not only one of my favorites, this was also one of the favorite episodes from one of the members, who is Nubbles T. And she told us, the members, that episode 15 was her favorite. She said, I think it was a cute way to show kids that you can express your love for things, even if they aren't popular. Respecting each other's interests is a kind thing to do. I adore episode 15. It's an episode that really, really highlighted that moment of feeling good for me, and I really believe that it's one of the best. Love and Dharma, you are iconic. Now for my number one pick. I don't think this is a secret at all. It is episode 42. Episode 42 is a legend in the PreCure universe, in my opinion. It really highlights Nodoka as a character, and it also shifts the heavy burden that is usually in the hero's shoulders. Now we can really see a new philosophy blooming in the heroes that was discussed in the fandom and even outside the PreCure fandom. Does a hero really need to sacrifice themselves to help others? Is that really the way to go? And I was very happy that Healing Good PreCure took a whole episode to say, no. You are your priority. And I'm very glad they chose Nodoka to do this. Nodoka is a great character and the best example for this philosophy, this argument. And not only me, I was not the only one who chose this as my favorite episode. Levi PreCure, a member of the Magical Cinnamon channel, also chose episode 43, and he recorded a video talking about why he chose episode 43 as his favorite. Let's take a look.
As we all know, Leo asked us members of Magical Cinnamon channel to talk a bit about our favorites Healing Good moment. I will just point at episode 32, which in whole fandom is probably the most diversive episode of all, because yeah, the whole fandom went ablaze after what happened in that episode. It's a really great episode for sure. It's one of the most pretty episodes, the animation just great, the aesthetic, the storyboarding, it's just perfect. Not to mention that the Reason's final form is probably the best design whole of Healing Good in my opinion. But besides that, I'm extremely happy about how everything turned out in that episode, especially the decision of Nodoka. Even though I said it at least a few times that I will probably make other different decision than she, I really love her decision, because it's something completely new for PreCure. In my opinion, episode 42 is extremely important for PreCure as a whole franchise, as it kind of changes how we look at leaders, how we look at pink leads, and I really love it. It gives Nodoka much more individualism, gives her much more nuance than most other pink leads. Here Nodoka greatly shows that sometimes you must put yourself first, because otherwise you can't save more people. But for PreCure it's something completely new. And even though I said it before, I would probably did something different, I really love how it turned out. It's definitely the highlight of all of Healing Good, and highlight for Nodoka character, which for us, we are approaching the end, is probably in my top 4 favorite pink leads. And at the beginning of the series I wasn't so sure about that. So yeah, episode 42, really great.
Definitely, I think episode 43 is something that is out of this world when it comes to PreCure. It is something groundbreaking, it is new, it is different, it is really out of this world to me, and I really like the philosophy behind it. So there was no other episode to put in number 1. This is definitely definitely the highlight of Healing Good. And now I saved this one for last, which is Zillin's choice as his favorite episode. Zillin Chen is also a member of the Magical Cinnamon channel, and he chose episode 28 as his favorite from Healing Good. He said, episode 28 is the one when Nodoka gets infected by the Ruizen. Again, this is because during the time just before this episode aired, I caught dengue fever and I just cured from a 10 days hospital treatment. Therefore, I could clearly understand what Nodoka was suffering. I really appreciate that she and all the others never gave up. Their spirit accompanied me in the harshest moment of my life as they gave me one simple thing in my life: hope. Zillin, I really loved this message and everything you shared with us. And here in Brazil, if you are Brazilian, you know what I'm talking about. Dengue is something that is very problematic here. I think that one of the most impressive things about Healing Good PreCure as a season is the fact that it is healing to lots of people, and it helped us get through a very harsh moment in 2020. We're still living the pandemic, obviously, but it was very interesting to see you, Zillin, winning your battles and having Nodoka and the other girls as support, as hope, as someone to inspire you to keep fighting. When it comes to diseases, fighting hard and not giving up aren't really an answer for the most part, but it's very interesting that we are able to look at those characters that we love so much and see them as hope and see them as something that keeps us here, that keeps us strong to face another day with all the adversities. And this is something that I'm very thankful that Healing Good tried to give us in 2020 and at the start of 2021 as well. So those were my favorite episodes, and also lots of episodes that were shared with the members. Members, thank you so much for taking your time to share your favorites with me. And I obviously want to hear from you. Which are your top 5 favorite episodes from Healing Good PreCure? Leave in the comments. Obviously, I want to thank the members once again for participating and also for being members. Thank you so much for all of your support. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.